Good morning. This is me again. What? Somewhat.
Hey, I'm Emoh from What's So Night. Just in the Ableton Liveschool today talking about edits and writing music. I actually bought Logic first, but I didn't really find it that easy to use. And my friend showed me how to use Ableton. And it was really good for just bringing in, you know, MP3s and samples and, you know, pre-made tracks and then chopping them up, taking parts out, taking out hooks and things like that. Instead of having a full-length club track, you know, that was maybe a bit boring and had like a minute intro and all that, I'd start like making little edits, so make the lead in a lot shorter, add some effects and some builds, and maybe take like the hook from one track that's really big at the time, take the vocal from another track, and then a really cool percussive kind of beat or drop or something like that. And that way you could make, you know, tracks that people knew and would dance to, very interesting and very different, and your sets would be different to everyone else's. That's kind of what got me into production, like producing my own music, was really just playing with other people's sounds and layering them how I wanted them to be, and yeah, started developing our own sounds and stuff, and just, I guess, following a similar process in song structure and making it workable on dance floor. It's pretty awesome these days, like just how accessible everything is with blogs and internet, and you can literally just rip a track like this. You don't even need to get the parts, and just using, you know, all these little programs like the EQ and filters and compressors and sidechaining, and you can literally kind of pull it apart as long as it's a little bit bare, and just make your own version of it and add all your own instruments and your own patches and things like that. And yeah, that's what happened to us. We bootlegged Get Free by Major Lazer, and they ended up hearing it and they loved it and released it, which is really cool for us. And it just gave us massive international exposure. Me and Harley are always traveling, and I don't tend to be home more than 1 or 2 days a week. So it's kind of hard to get into a studio. And a lot of the time I'll just wake up, you know, after a gig and go to the airport and just be sitting there waiting for the plane, and we'll just, you know, start writing down ideas and just getting some basic things down. And this one I did just the other day. It's not quite developed yet, but you know, it could be an idea. Just got like, used Simpler and just dropped in some kicks, claps, hats, got like some soulful kind of vocal stuff. Some synths, just some pads. Yeah, and then just some percussion over the top. With the hats as well, and a lot of the percussion, we find to get like a really cool sort of groove and you know, swaying kind of effect. You pull back like seconds here, so that it sort of makes the, you know, the claps or the hats a bit lazy, or the percussion a bit lazy, rather than everything being so regimented and right on the beat. Generally we'll make an A and a B section, so this might be, you know, just the breakdown or the general theme of the kind of song, and then we'll make a drop as well.
Drop it!
And the drop will be just a lot more stripped back, usually have a different sound as the lead, and generally not as melodic. It'll just be like a flat note, maybe with a little pitch bend, or like a flat note with you know, a fifth or something like that, just in a different part of the bar. And then maybe just cut in like we have here with the melodic parts from the breakdown, just as a stab. And yeah, just some little vocal chants and stuff before the drop always helps.
Drop it!
Just to really signify it and get people's attention. That's kind of something we might, you know, come up with just when we're on the road, and then we'll take that into a proper studio, replace a lot of the synths and rework it, and, you know, listen to it on proper monitors and things like that. I've always struggled with getting productions done, and I just hit walls all the time. I'm not sort of melodically trained as I was a drummer. So I find, you know, writing chords, writing melodies, you know, pitching things, working out what the chords are or something and then trying to replicate. I find that stuff quite difficult, and it's really daunting, you know, going in, spending hours and hours trying to work out this thing and just constantly hitting walls and not getting anywhere with it. And I think the best thing to do is make sure you have a bank of things that are really going to inspire you, like some new songs from some interesting artists that are quite different, or some sample packs that have some really, you know, unique kind of sounds going on that are gonna, you know, you just hear this sound and you suddenly hear a chord in your head that goes behind it or something like that. Don't force it. I mean, don't be lazy about it, but if it's not happening, it's probably not going to happen that day. You know, I often just go for a surf and get in the right headspace, come back, and then I just got all these ideas. Like, you can't just sit there for hours, end on end, you know, in this little room with nothing to inspire you. You're not going to get past the walls like that.